Hello and welcome back to another episode of Craven Some Raven. And in this episode, gonna be talking about that Jets game. Probably gonna talk about Terrell Suggs. Probably gonna talk about Lamar Jackson. This is Craven Some Raven, so we got to talk about Lamar Jackson. Probably gonna go over some games this week and maybe touch on what happened last week because I didn't really get a chance to go over any of that. Maybe go over my record and all that fun stuff. So let's just dive in. Come on in, the water's warm. All right, Jets, what's up with you? Why were you so bad? Just kidding. We knew why you were bad. I basically everything I talked about came to fruition. Um, but it wasn't. I'm not Nostradamus here. Literally everyone said the same things about this game. I kind of just agreed with everybody. I mean, the Jets, they were a dumpster fire. They were not looking good. It would have taken a miracle. It would have taken Moses parting the Red Sea for these Jets to come out with a victory. I mean, you're talking a Thursday night prime time matchup in Baltimore. It seems like Lamar Jackson loves playing in primetime. 2 of his Jackson 5 games came in primetime. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I was talking about the Jackson 5 game before even the season started. I couldn't wait. I knew it was going to happen. God damn it. I'm so goddamn happy about it. I really am. I just want my credit, even though, how do you give credit? I am not the only one to think of that, so whatever. I've just been on this Lamar Jackson hype train since before you were born, kid. What you know, young blood? Anyways, yeah, this Jets team is it's abysmal. So you can't say like, oh wow, what a great win by the Ravens. I mean, it was. They still blew them out, but I know people like to say, oh, but it's just the Jets. I mean, I think anybody who says that, just don't listen to them. The Ravens have defeated the top competition for both AFC and NFC. So what are you gonna say? Oh, they should have won by more. How dare you, Ravens? You should have won by more. Shut up, bro. You don't know anything. You don't know shit about nothing. You're a stupid idiot. You're double dumb. All right. I mean, we put up 42 points on an NFL team. That is not something that happens too often. Lamar Jackson is just breaking records left and right. And I mean, this was like a college game. I've heard many analysts, I don't know, people on TV. They watch football and talk about it. They're basically doing what I'm doing, except they get paid for it, and they're trash takes. I don't know. I'm only giving takes about the Ravens, so it's probably not easy to do for all 32. But I've heard some people talk about how this is like a college game, and how even when like these Ravens are blowing another team out, you still want to watch the game. You still are glued. Your eyes are still glued to the television because you can't wait to see what Lamar Jackson's going to do. And I've seen a lot of them when they talk about, hey, it's just like college, right? It's almost like high school ball where you got, like, I feel like this was a homecoming game. The way it was talked about, no one gave the Jets a chance. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's like no one even like was giving them any credit, and I almost felt bad because the way they're talking about it is like, oh yeah, everyone's just going to talk about the Ravens, just talk about the Ravens, then maybe at the end they'll touch on Sam Darnold for like maybe a minute, and it's like, wow, man, no one was giving the Jets a chance, and I understand why, but I mean, these guys, there's always usually a contrarian, and even they were like, nah, man, the Ravens are going to kind of whoop that ass. And I mean, hey, it came true. Everyone did end up right. But I mean, it's like the homecoming game where you set up some smaller school, you set up an easy team to play against. You got the big dance coming up. We got our prom king playing quarterback, leading us to victory. The girls are all excited. Who's going to be prom queen? I don't know. This analogy is it's breaking apart on me, but you know what I mean. Lamar Jackson's our prom king. He's already favorited. He was favorited, but once he helped us beat State, then he's officially the prom king, right? I don't know. Yeah, we'll work on it. But yeah, man, this team, the way it's playing right now, it is no one can stop us. I mean, these Jets were not a litmus test, but it was another primetime outing, another Jackson 5, and everybody got a chance to see. I mean, like it's another week, another time. Like, man, did you see Lamar Jackson? Yeah, I saw Lamar Jackson. Like, god damn. I mean, in this game, first of all, rocking the All Blacks. I love to see it. They never do it multiple times in a year, do they? Did they do it last year multiple times? Either way, they could wear All Blacks for the rest of the season. I am all about it. Thought they'd be rocking the purple pants, but who can complain? The Ravens, the way they've been playing, they could come out in that mustard shit. They could come out in those mustard pants and be like, hell yeah, those are dope, because they're playing well, and they're playing well. Who cares? So, rewatching that game, I rewatched it like a couple days ago. I didn't really miss much. My eyes were pretty glued to the screen the whole time. Nothing stood out to me other than the fact that Lamar is amazing. This offensive line with James Hurst still held their own. Lamar Jackson, I think he's a very rhythm quarterback, I'd say. Get him out of a rhythm and he's not going to play as well. And I think that's most quarterbacks, right? That's almost every single quarterback. Hey, he's a great quarterback. Yeah, but his weakness is when he gets hit. Really? Huh. Yeah, when you get pressure on him, he doesn't like that, dude. He's not a great quarterback when you get a bunch of pressure on him. Huh. You sure? Compared to any other quarterback, is it more or less? Because no quarterback likes to get pressure on him. So it's yeah, I've noticed that's his weakness. But other than that, it's he gets in a groove. You can tell when someone catches momentum, they catch fire. They're in a flow state on the field. And that's Lamar. He kind of is one of those instant flow state kind of guys, because I imagine, being able to juke people the way he does, you have to be able to be in some sort of flow state. You got the brain power, the feel power. He is feeling the field in a way that I've never seen before. That juke against the 49ers that he had, where he even juked me and I was just watching the game live. They showed the replay and he's not even looking at the guy that he jukes. He had a feel for the game. And that's the way he plays. I think he's just an excellent... I've said this before, and I haven't been able to find a better way to put it, but he's a great feeler of the game. Because it just sounds weird. Yeah. Oh, you're a feeler? It sounds like you touch kids. They're putting it nicely that you're a pedophile. Oh, yeah, he's a feeler. A what? A feeler. Yeah, he touches little kids. Either way, he's a feeler of the game. He feels it with not his eyes, not with touch, not with smell, not with taste, I guess. None of the five senses. It's that sixth sense. Sixth sense. Where it's just a feeling. It's not anything that you can really see, which is another sense. So you can't really measure it with another one. Whatever. Because it doesn't look like he's doing it with any of the senses, right? He can feel the game. He can feel the air around him, and almost like a bat, just putting out some Lamar sonar, coming back. It's oh, we got guys here. If I juke like this right now, I'll be able to get by. And it's sometimes he just does the most perfect juke, and it's thing of beauty. And man, this guy, he gets in a rhythm, and he was in one of those rhythms, I think, at the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, they were a little bit slow. They had a 3-and-out, I think, right out of the gate, coming in from the half, or coming back out from the half. It was like, oh man, come on. You're about to let them back in the game. These Jets, they're actually have some points. They had some success moving the ball. And so, sitting there like, damn, come on. And then, boom, instantaneously, Lamar's catching fire. And I've heard analysts say, like, yeah, well, what happens, this game is still all about, what happens when you get behind the sticks. He threw a fucking touchdown on 2nd and 20. Like, I get triggered by these people who doubt Lamar, and it's my own fault. I understand that it doesn't make sense for me. Because, listen, I have seen what Lamar's done. I've had my thoughts, and I've shared them with you all, that I think Lamar is going to be one of the best to ever do it when it's all said and done. I've said he's going to be Hall of Fame. I said he's going to win MVP. I said he's going to do great things in this league. I've said he's going to be a superstar. His face is about to be everywhere. So hit your wagon, boys. Hit your wagon, because he's about to be a goddamn superstar where you turn on, maybe not so much the TV, but his face is going to be everywhere. I think it'd be wise for the NFL to kind of do that. Not so much for the Ravens or Lamar, but for their brand. NFL, it's an entertainment business, right? And Lamar is entertaining. He is entertainment. And so I just think it'd be smart for the NFL to really, buy into Lamar, help him become, a great asset to the league. It's one of the reasons why I think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl this year. It's because the NFL needs him to. They need a new superstar. Tom Brady is about to retire. He might retire this year. Who the fuck knows? It seems like he gets younger every year. TB12 method, eat. It's crazy. You take care of your body, you eat healthy, and what do you know? You can keep up your body in your 40s. It's fucking crazy. He still looks the same. He doesn't have any wrinkles. I don't know what the hell's going on. Is he a vampire? Possibly. You'd think he'd run faster, though, as a vampire. But either way. The NFL, they need a new superstar, and I think Lamar is here for them. I think the NFL needs Lamar more than Lamar needs the NFL. I can't wait to see it happen. The Ravens haven't had a superstar since Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. And looking at the top 100, they're doing that top 100, who's the best of all time at their respective position, the all 100 team or whatever they're calling it. So they got Jonathan Ogden, Ray Lewis, and Ed Reed in there. That is amazing. That is 3 amazing Ravens homegrown talent, and it makes me pissed off. You got these 3 dudes who are in the top of their position group in the past 100 years of this league, and you only got 1 Super Bowl with those motherfuckers? Come on. Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, I guess they were part of the second one, but Ed Reed wasn't a part of the first one. Jonathan Ogden wasn't part of the second one. But it's like, damn. But, it makes sense why we didn't make all the Super Bowls. Listen, we were a very new franchise. The only reason we were able to get out of the gates and have a sense of urgency was because of those draft picks, because of how successful those draft picks were. If we were an already established team and we had that same sort of draft, we probably would have had more Super Bowls, probably would have had more success. But since we were a new franchise, you got to deal with growing pains, all sorts of other random bullshit that's probably not even true, but it seems like it would make sense, right? You're starting in a different, you're not starting at a level playing field because you're a new franchise. But whatevs. But in this game, the superstar Lamar Jackson was out. And everyone's, just seeing the consistency that he's consistently, fun to watch, which is what, as Ravens fans, we've all saw. We've all seen this. And it's like, yes, he is fucking fun to watch. This is one of the most exciting offenses to watch. It's about goddamn time you people are turning your heads like, oh yeah, I guess they are fun to watch. And this season, I always kind of thought, these guys, are they even watching this game? That is such a dumb take. And you can tell week by week who actually watched Lamar Jackson. It was a fun time for me this year, seeing these analysts say some of the dumbest things about Lamar, and then seeing them the next week, because they put out such a controversial take, they had to watch Lamar now. Now, since they put their career on the line, I guess, I don't think you put it on the line, but they, anytime, if they're making their money off saying stuff and predicting and doing all that stuff, so they are putting it on the line. They're putting their career on the line somewhat. I mean, in a minor way, you have trash takes over and over again, then no one's going to listen to you. So you got to keep stacking the good takes. You stack each good take, one take at a time. That's how I live my life. But no, man. So yeah, it was always super funny to see, from one week to the next, a single person completely shifting their ideas about a guy. And the reason is because they watched him. And the more and more people watch him, the more and more people realize, oh shit, yeah, this guy is fucking good. I'm really hoping that the playoffs isn't like this bugaboo for him, like he can't get over the hump, like a Dan Marino situation or any of those. I don't want to put that bad juju out into the ether, but it's still a possibility. He didn't play great at the beginning of that playoff game versus the Chargers. But, he came in at the end of it, different offense, different time, still his rookie year, got thrown into the fire that year. I have all the confidence in the world with him, but, you still just don't know. If I'm putting money on it, I'm putting money on the fact that Lamar's going to be, like, epically successul. But, you still just don't know. Anything can really happen. I'm betting that it's going to be great for him. He's going to have a great fucking career, and he's going to have a statue in Baltimore. That's the hope. And like the way he was playing, I didn't really talk much about the Jets game, but it feels like we're past that, right? It feels like we're past it. And so I'm thinking about this stuff earlier. I was like, I'm going to record the podcast tonight. I'm probably going to talk about some of this stuff. And you're thinking about Lamar Jackson and where this team could go, because the way he's been playing, all the hype he's getting, and then me saying something like, oh, he's going to be a superstar in this league, his face is going to be everywhere. You start to think about, the future, the big picture of what's going to go on with this Ravens team. And I know we're getting close to the end of the year. I know we still got playoffs and all that fun stuff, but one of my favorite parts is the draft, and then going over the prospects and who are they going to take and how do they want to build this team, and all of the giant questions that I'm sure I will answer, because I'm going to continue to do this podcast. I do my best work in draft time. I really nerd out with it, and I'm going to need some help this year, because I don't know how the Ravens are going to draft. I have some ideas, how you want to build around Lamar Jackson. I think Eric DeCosta's kind of already shown us a little bit of what he's about. But he is a quarterback, and you got a quarterback playing excellent. Everybody knows that contract's going to come up. He is going to be making like damn near $50 million by the time, the money comes around, because there's going to be a new collective bargaining agreement. And from what everyone's saying is that they're going to get more money. The players are going to get more money. So a top contract this year, like the highest paid contract this year, might double by the time it's Lamar's turn to get paid. And that always causes a detriment to your team, right? The more money you allocate to one player, the less you can allocate to others. It's a very simple math problem. You got more here, you got less there. It's very simple. Um, so I'm thinking about it like, man, will Lamar break the bank? I've heard him say, they were asking him earlier in the season, not earlier, maybe it was like a couple weeks ago. They were asking him about a shoe deal or something. And he's like, man, I don't know, if they come right. Which basically means, hey, if they offer a fuck ton of money, they put their dick on the table and say, yo, we're paying. And could you hear me slap it down? I was putting it down. This is what we're willing to offer you. A dick on the table? What? No, just a big old wad of cash. If you come right, which, oh man, no, I can't even say that. Just saying dick on the table if you come right. But that's what Lamar Jackson was saying. If you come right, if you bring that wad of cash, I'm sure he'll take a shoe deal. And not many football players get shoe deals. That is a basketball player thing. But I've talked about it before, that Lamar Jackson brings that basketball kind of electricity to the football field. That 3 points, crossing over, dunking on people. That electricness of the NBA, the hypeness, did you see that? The crossover way that the NBA is. Yeah, he brings that. He brings that to the NFL. He could get a shoe deal. I talked about him being on the cover of Madden, and people are getting onto that now. EA's made a great choice, and he's mentioning that. And like when they asked him about that too, he's like, yeah, maybe. I got nothing against it. And he was talking about the curse. He's like, yeah, I don't believe in no curse. It's just whatever. But what I'm getting to, it's kind of a two-edged sword. And I don't know, it might be a really dumb theory. But, I'll just talk about it and then you guys can let me know. So, I think Lamar Jackson is fixing to be a pretty decent superstar, right? So, I think he's going to get a lot of offers through TV, through different companies, through multitude of different avenues. How much does he want to show his face? Does he want to stay humble? Does he want to do his own thing? And how does this affect the Ravens? Because, I'm not a huge fan of players being on commercials. Which players are on commercials this year? There is a commercial curse. There's not a Madden curse. There's a commercial curse. Because anytime they're playing ads and it's these, like Baker Mayfield this year, he's playing like trash, dude. And they'll be, like I remember during the game, you're watching Lamar go off and having an MVP year, and you're seeing a commercial with Baker Mayfield in the background, like the Ravens just made a play, right? And they go to TV timeout, but they leave the game kind of still up on the side, and you can see Lamar getting hyped with his teammates, and then it's a commercial with Baker Mayfield in it, and he's trash, and it's like, get this man off my goddamn TV. He's not even in the same league, it feels like, right? They're on two totally different wavelengths. Two totally different styles of players. One, the upper echelon. One, meh. Whole lot of meh. And so, I don't even know my point anymore. So I would like Lamar Jackson to be in commercials and take a lot of money. It's what I'm getting to. As much as I hate it because I think there's a curse, I think, the way he is, maybe he's the type of person that if he's making all that money, because he's going to have the ability to make a ton of money, lucrative money. I mean, like fucking billions, my man. Maybe not billions, but he's not going to have to work again, I think. Pretty soon here. I genuinely do think he is going to be this big. Maybe a worldwide phenomenon. Like, it'd be great for the NFL if he gets to the Super Bowl. So please, refs, help us out. The NFL, you have the power to put us into the Super Bowl. Just give us some calls. Fuck pass interference on our defense. Nothing but pass interference when we're playing on offense. So, come on, guys. NFL, be smart, do the right thing, and help the Ravens in. Right? Come on, guys. But when it's time for Lamar to get paid, if he's already a superstar, right? If he's got a big shoe deal, if he's endorsed by Nike or should be Under Armour, if he's endorsed by Under Armour, making millions a week, maybe not a week, I don't know what kind of fucking money Under Armour forks out. But I mean, he gets a couple endorsement deals. He's going to be sitting right. He's going to be sitting pretty. And maybe in his mind, he was like, I don't need all this money. He seems like a real humble kid, but you don't know what's going on behind those eyes. You really don't. To a certain point, I'm tired of him being this humble, right? How dare you be this humble? No one's as humble as I am. I mean, like at a certain point, it's not real. It's not real anymore. Obviously, I'm glad he somewhat does coach speak, podium speak. He knows how to interact with the media. He doesn't go off saying stupid shit. I know he had the one thing in the off season, flying fast in his car. He learned from that. But he seems like way too humble. And at a certain point, you got to be honest with yourself. Up at the podium, being like, yeah, bro, I shook that dude. He doesn't deserve to be on the field with me. Because, that his type of talent, at a certain point, he deserves to be able to do something. He deserves to be able to tell the people, yeah, man, I'm fucking good at this, Like, I get it. It's because of me that we're here. I like him being humble, but at the same time, it's almost too much now. It's like you can't be humble and that good. You just can't. It doesn't seem real. Like, it feels like you're just waiting. You win a Super Bowl and you're just gonna blow up on everybody. You're just gonna fuck you. Like, he wins the trophy. He's just up on the podium, gets the mic, and he's like, "Yeah, I just want to say fuck all y'all. I'm out." And drop the mic and bounce. Right? Like, that's how humble he's being right now. Where he's just waiting it up. He's just letting us all soak up his play, and then he's just gonna boom, take that. I don't know. It's kind of a really dumb theory, but whatever. That was like three separate theories rolled up into one shitty take. But yeah, man, maybe he's gonna be such a superstar that he realizes that, hey, don't take the money from the team, get it from all your endorsements. Use the NFL as a platform to make more money. Like, if you let the Ravens keep some money aside and don't pay you damn near half the salary cap, they'll be able to put people around you. You'll be able to have better teammates, thus increasing your overall value to everyone else, to the fans, to your endorsers, to getting millions in endorsements. That's where the money is. That's where the money lies. It's not in contracts. See, that's why these players keep messing it up. They keep like, oh, I'm just going to get as much money as I can. I mean, I get it, though. Not every player has the ability to just get endorsed and make crazy amounts of money through ad revenue and just putting your face on stuff. Not every player has that chance. So, when they get offered that contract by the Ravens, they're like, I'm going to go see what I can get elsewhere. And there's always a team willing to overpay. Always. Just look at those Jets we paid. They overpaid Le'Veon Bell. They overpaid someone else. There was someone else, C.J. Mosley. They really digging into the AFC North. Man, I feel so bad for the Jets, dude, because they are building the team the wrong way. Do not give big contracts like that out. Just don't do that. And get a new coach. I mean, watching that game, you look at John Harbaugh and then you look at Adam Gase. Who's the head coach? You would say, oh, John Harbaugh's the head coach, and then Adam Gase is a coordinator. And he's not even interacting with his guys. Adam Gase was in the playbook the entire time. I think, head coach, the job is supposed to be, like, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the rah-rah guy. You're supposed to be the get up, woo, let's go, baby. Let's get out there. Let's kick some ass. You're supposed to leave the the play-to-play stuff, but on the coordinators. That's what the coordinator's job is for. And, and I understand why all these coordinators get hired. A lot of head coaches, they start as coordinators. But, the new, we need the offensive guru. We need the great offensive mind. That doesn't work to me. Because your head coach needs to be a head coach. He can't be coming up with the world's greatest game plan on offense and also coach the game. I feel like there are going to be lapses. Obviously, people do it all the time, right? Teams do it all the time and have success with it. But I'm just saying, I feel like the head coach, their job should be on the big picture. How you want the flow of the game to go. And then the coordinators, that's when they attack. That's when they use their ability, right? I mean, when you do that, you leave yourself open to your coaches being poached, right? Now, Greg Roman and Donwick Martindale, everyone's talking, oh, they're going to get head coaching talk. They're going to get head coaching talk, whatever. They're going to get interviews. They could be gone. And then what are you going to do? Well, we got a leader in John Harbaugh. We got the rah-rah guy. He doesn't know how to run the offense. He doesn't know how to call the plays. I'm sure he could pick it up and be fine. But he's not going to be as good. He didn't design this offense. But he gets the people going. He's got the vision. He kind of a delegator, right? That's what a good leader is. And I feel like so many of these teams, they want the flashy offense and they want to be able to keep the flashy offense, right? Because they could get the young coordinator and they could have him for maybe 1-2 years before some other team's like, hey, you want to be the head coach so we can have your offensive scheme? And then, it's just this never-ending kind of cycle. So it's like, you have to do that. It's like, oh, well, since instead of the Ravens losing Greg Roman and this offense, why not just make him the head coach? It's like, well, he might not be a good head coach. He could be just a great coordinator and not a good head coach. They're two totally different skill sets. So I think just teams are doing things wrong by just hiring the offensive mind, the defensive mind. The special teams mind is turned out pretty good for the Ravens, right? It makes me think, like, would Ray Lewis make a good head coach? Because he's a rah-rah guy, right? He's emotional. He could get the team going. I'm pissed off for greatness. I don't know. Yeah, great players really don't make great coaches because everything, somewhat, no matter how much hard work they put into it, it comes to them easier than other people. Usually, they have the leg up, right? That's what made them such great players. And so when they become coaches, they're like, hey, why don't you just do it like I did? And like, coach, I ain't you. Tony Stark built this in a cave. Well, I'm not Tony Stark. You're right, you're not. You're fired. So I'm a little all over the place, talking about head coaches, talking about Lamar Jackson, making all that money, going to be a superstar. He's going to be, how many songs is he going to be in this year? How many songs did Juke It Like Lamar? I can hear it now. Juke It Like Lamar. That's what it's going to be called. The song's called Juke It Like Lamar. Yeah, Juke It Like Lamar. I don't know. I won't do that to you guys again. I won't make a song up on the spot. No guarantees, but there's going to be he's going to get name dropped quite a bit. I hope it doesn't get to him. Like I said, it kind of goes back to what I was saying before. He seems super humble, but you really never know. Maybe he's waiting for his moment. He's been waiting for the Super Bowl so he can, like I said, do the fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Just fuck you, fuck you. Just wait until he can start talking. So, big news. Big news. Terrell Suggs getting cut by the Cardinals. When I first saw this, my initial thought was, oh, he asked them to cut him. And he's such a vet, and they're such a stand-up organization. They're like, all right, for sure. He wants another chance with us. There's no other reason for this. Either he's retiring right now, but there was no announcement about retirement. So I was like, oh, he is coming here. He wants to come here. And then it's like, oh, fuck. He's got to go through waivers now? What? And I'm thinking to myself, can't he just be like, nah, I ain't playing for you? Like, can't you just sit out? Isn't that what AB did? Isn't that what Le'Veon did? Can't you just sit out and say, nah, I ain't going to play for you? And then today, I saw the reports that said he's considering, not showing up to any other team besides the Ravens. He wants the farewell tour. He's seen Ray do it. He needs to go out on goddamn top, and let's help him get there. Ravens, come on, do us all a favor and sign this man. Apparently it's going to go down Monday. Holy shit, that's in 2 days. He's coming back. The prodigal son. I don't know he's the prodigal son, but it was Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. The big three. I mean, that, in my opinion, that's the big three. On the Mount Rushmore of Ravens, Terrell Suggs is there. Do you go Flacco or Ogden? How many are on Mount Rushmore? Is it 4 or 5? Or is it 6? I don't even fucking know. But either way, Terrell Suggs is up there. Right? He's got to be. He was beloved by the fans. He was beloved in Baltimore in general. He made a great person on HBO. But I mean, he was a great locker room presence, a leader. And, he still got some sacks in the tank. And I'm not going to say he's dominant, but he can set the edge. And he knows when a screen is coming. 2 things this Ravens team is surely in need of. Quit calling me Shirley. The Ravens are in dire need of an edge-setting outside linebacker who can read a screen. I love what I've been seeing from Jalen Ferguson, loving it. But Terrell Suggs, that is the move. And not only is he experienced, but he can help Jalen Ferguson. They haven't hung out together, but I feel like they were super similar players. Jalen Ferguson broke Terrell Suggs' record, right? They are very similar players. They like to set the edge. They are big, bruising guys. I think, Suggs was a little bit more in the wiggle department, but as of late, in his later years, he's mostly a bull rush kind of guy. And I've talked about the kind of guys that we need, where we don't need pass rushers, right? We need guys who can get to the quarterback. I think we need guys who what their bread and butter is just Mike Myersing their way back to the quarterback, just slowly but steady walking back. And if you've heard me talk about it before, I'm going to repeat myself again. So, hold on for a sec, because I mean, the way the NFL is going, it's gonna be a lot of mobile quarterbacks. Not like Lamar, but everyone is mobile. Even Joe Burrow, you see his mobility inside the pocket. Give him a lane and he will take it. These guys are coming in faster and stronger at the quarterback position, and so the traditional pass rush lanes they're ancient now. They don't work anymore. You can't have dominant guys. You need a group of guys to kind of just walk back and just suffocate the pocket. That's how you get sacks, I think. That's going to be the future way to get sacks. Team sacks, right? The individual sack hasn't been a huge thing this year. Like individual sack leaders. There's been, a lot of times when I'm watching Red Zone and I see a sack, there's multiple people there. It's not, hey, this guy has been beating up this dude all game. Obviously, some people have had good games, but usually it's a team thing. It's a scheme thing. And they do it with a multitude of guys. And it's not all first-round crazy talents. It's usually just a bunch of who? Well, what's that guy's name? There's no dominant guy, really. I know you can say, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, but, how have they been doing, right? And they're like the 2 most dominant. But, so Suggs is that kind of player, right? He is a Mike Myers his way back to the quarterback. He's all strength, no speed, at least at this point. So really, when it comes to him protecting the backside, that worries me a little bit. But this isn't a play on the field type get. Like all of these other teams, that are in front of us, which is every single team, because we're the last in waivers. That's how dominant we've been. We are last in waivers. I mean, I imagine so. I haven't really looked at the list, but I imagine we're last. All these other teams, they're going to be looking at him like, hey, can you bring us production? Can you actually bring us production? I don't know if other teams will see it that way. I could see the Patriots totally grabbing him just as a fuck you. I could see the Chiefs also doing that as kind of a fuck you. And I'm hoping Terrell Suggs is like, fuck you. I'm going to be saying fuck you a lot, okay? All right, so get used to it. This isn't for children. It's explicit, yo. This podcast is explicit. I'm so hoping Terrell Suggs comes back, because this is his last ride. He's seeing how good this Ravens team is. He left. Why did he leave, though? I want to get the real answer why he left, and now why he's coming back. Oh, now that we're doing good, we just broke up with you. We just got over you, and now you want to come back because you saw I got a new job, because I shaved my beard, right? Oh, now I'm in shape. Now you want to hang out with me? Nah, bitch, I'm done with you. I don't feel that way about you, Suggs. But, I mean, that's kind of the situation we're in, right? I feel like a lot of people would be like, I don't know, man, you kind of just were like, nah. Like, we offered you a contract, and Terrell Suggs was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go to the Arizona Cardinals, who just picked first in the draft because of how trash they were. Okay. Are you sure? Sure you want to do that, Suggs? I mean, we're offering you the same amount of money. We're offering you good deals. Then, nah, man, I'm straight. And I saw Bart Scott, a while ago. He was talking about it, and he was saying that Terrell Suggs thought he would be stealing from the Ravens because he didn't think that he was worth the money. Well, now he ain't going to be getting paid much by us. If we were able to get him, because I guess his contract is prorated, and they've basically already paid everything, pretty much, other than like a couple grand, which ain't bad. For a football player, no way. But he is a Ravens lifer. Like I said, all these other teams, they're looking for production if they sign him. Us, we're not looking for production. I mean, we'll take it gladly. But this is a Ravens great. And what this team is doing, we're lacking that extra little push, that extra like we had in 2012, that, hey, this is my last ride. Ray Lewis is retiring after this year. We got to win. We're missing that, we're going to do it last year and we got upset. There was a crazy call by the refs. It was an upset or something. We're not coming off of hardship, right? We're not dealing with adversity somewhat. Every team has adversity, whatever, but we're not dealing like that 2012 team. They had a devastating loss in that AFC Championship the year before, and then Ray Lewis is coming out and retiring. So this is it, boys. This is it. And so this Ravens team this year, that's what they're missing, right? It feels like they're destined for greatness, but I can't say that they're destined for greatness. I mean, it seems the way they've been playing that they are, but I think it's, the Terrell Suggs comebacks, maybe I'll be willing to say that. They've been playing very well, but I don't see that one thing, right? That intangible thing. It's just not there. I think they're still gonna win the goddamn Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. Don't mishear my words. I think they're going to Super Bowl, but it's like they're just missing. And the line between winning a Super Bowl and not, all the playoff games and everything that has to go into it, it takes luck. Any team that's won the Super Bowl has dealt with a little bit of luck at some point, either in the season, well, definitely in the season, but even in the playoffs. Like every single team that wins the Super Bowl, the ball bounces their way at some point, right? Everyone needs a little bit of help, to win the Super Bowl. Everything has to go your way and then some. And so I think, a little bit of that locker room boost, even though he's just coming in at the very end of the season like, oh, yeah, thanks for being there for us, bro. But coming back, being emotional support, the more I'm thinking about it, like how are the players gonna react? Like, bro, you left us. Like, you broke up with us. And now you want to come back? Got in shape, got a new car, new job, new house, hot young girlfriend. Now you wanna come back and be in my life? Bitch, I loved you. Like, this is straight up like that situation. You and your girlfriend break up. She cheats on you and then breaks up with you, and then she wants to come back. And it's like, stand up for yourself. You don't need her. Anytime you watch that movie, you tell that character, hell, you don't need her, right? Just because she came back, don't let her back, right? I feel like usually it's the other way around in movies, but just go with it. And that's not a situation that I'm a huge fan of. That now I feel like every single Ravens fan is clamoring for him, which, I understand why. I totally am too. I'm like, woo, Terrell Suggs is back. But just like the more I'm thinking about it, like right now, like because I'm talking about it, like I guess I'm thinking about it. Oh, what a shocker. You're talking about it, so you're thinking about it? But I didn't really think about it that way before until I started talking about it, like out loud. And that's not a pretty situation. We got a good thing going in the locker room, right? I don't know. I don't want to talk myself out of this, but it kind of sounds like I'm doing that. Fuck it, bro. It's Terrell Suggs. He needs to come back. He needs to retire a Raven. He would have regardless, but if he wants to be a part of this run as a Ravens fan, I am 100% on board. I can't wait to see him don the purple and black. I just hope it doesn't mess with the locker room chemistry, which sounds so dumb because he'd been here for so many years, but I've explained myself enough. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Baby, come back. Terrell Suggs coming back. All right, buddy. So, last week in my game picks, went 10-6, bringing my yearly total to 127 and 80. I haven't been doing too well. I've been going 10-6. I know it's, you might, if you're in a trash division, that'll win you. Maybe your division. Maybe that'll get you into the playoffs, or, the wild card possibly. Some years the wild card's super tough. Other years, you might be able to get in at 10-6. But I haven't been playing playoff picks, right? Haven't been doing great. So this week, I'm just going to go over the teams, maybe talk about just a few of these games, just a few of them. I had the Ravens, obviously, I didn't go over that, but I'm Craven Sermon Podcast. I go with the Ravens each and every goddamn week, so fuck you. I don't. I love you. I love you. So next, all right, I got Eagles over the Redskins. I got Titans over the Texans. Probably going to talk about that one. I got Dolphins over Giants. Got Chiefs over Broncos. Got Packers over Bears. Bucks over Lions. Pats over Bengals. Seahawks over Panthers. Chargers over the Vikings. What? Browns over the Cardinals. 49ers over the Falcons, Rams over the Cowboys, Bills over the Steelers, and on Monday night, Saints over the Colts. So a couple of these games that I want to talk about. I already talked about the Jets and Ravens game. Is this Texans-Titans game, because this is major playoff implications, bruh. Major implications. Major division implications, because besides the Ravens, the Titans are the hot team right now. I love Vrabel as a coach. The man in the offseason said he'd be willing to cut his dick off to get a Super Bowl. Who does that? Who does that? I'll tell you who, and it goes back to what I was saying before. Not a coordinator, but a leader. A leader will cut his dick off for the greater good. He's not a coordinator. I imagine he could call a defense like no one gives a fuck. But he is a leader of men. And he can, I feel like he could still play. He looks like he could. He looks like he could fuck someone up. I mean, if you're willing to cut your dick off for the greater good of your team, I mean, Jesus. You're just going to walk into the playoffs like, let's go. Dick in his hand. But not pants down, just pants up because he cut it off, right? Derrick Henry, I mean, that he is the perfect fit for that team. The way I view Vrabel as a coach, that's the way Derrick Henry runs. Ryan Tannehill, just a winner. I mean, he was injured in Miami, I guess, a bunch of times, but he's got a pretty good record, career-wise. He's got a pretty good record, and he's coming up big time, big time. I love that hit that Tannehill. I'm kind of a fan of Tannehill. After I saw that hit he put on that Raiders defender, the big boy, the big dude, he ran down the field, got the angle, lowered his shoulder, and plowed that dude into the ground. Perfect technique, my dude. I love seeing that. I love when a quarterback throws an interception and then he makes the tackle. He knows, bro, I fucked up. I'm going to do this. Put the team on my back, and I'm going to go tackle this motherfucker. And the way Tannehill tackled that dude, wow. Thing of beauty, perfect form. And so these are all reasons why I'm going with Titans over the Texans. I know they are the hot team, and I've called them the Chihuahua of the NFL, but I think that was Mariota. I think that was a Mariota thing, not a Tannehill thing. The Texans, they're also unpredictable, but they're consistently unpredictable. The Titans have been going on this run. I mean, I've seen the Texans do all sorts of crazy shit, and you never know. But I got the Titans in this game. I just wanted to talk about it because especially I put money down on it. I actually did two separate bets where I had I took the Titans at -3, and then I took the over at 50, right? At 50, yeah, I even took that over. I think these teams are going to put up points because I think the Titans have a good defense, but the Texans, they do something crazy every once in a while. Deshaun Watson, he's going to get those garbage time points if they're down. The Titans, their offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Like I said, their defense is good, but the Texans, like I said, Deshaun Watson is going to do something special. He's going to put up points no matter what. I don't think the Titans' defense is as good as the Ravens, so that's kind of that reasoning. So I bet both of those, right? So I didn't parlay them. I decided to do them separately. I just felt like doing them separately because I kind of added both of those up to a parlay later, which I'll talk about. Talking about this Bills game because I put money on the Bills +2. So the Bills are underdogs in this game Sunday night, obviously going against our division rivals and the Steelers. Both teams vying for a playoff spot, most likely going to come in the wild card area. I just have the Bills winning. I think both teams are very similar, built on defense, stout on defense. Kind of seen as not that good, even though their records kind of say otherwise, that they're decent. But a lot of the perception about them is that they're not that great. So I think they're very similar. I just think the Bills come out with this one. They go into Steelers country and say, not today, mother trucker. Josh Allen hurdles a bunch of fools. Or at least, lose by a point, right? They don't lose by a field goal or more. I still just don't truck Duck. I think he's better than Mason Rudolph, but that team as a whole, I think they've been playing well. But let's see how that offense does against a good Bills defense. We saw what they were able to do against the Ravens. Obviously, wind was a factor in that game, of course, whatever. But, they were able to slow Lamar down somewhat. So I think their defense is going to do well up against the Steelers. And I think they win it outright, but I just put the spread just to get that extra little cushion, right? I also bet on the Colts to win. Who are they playing? I don't think I picked them, though. Who were the Colts playing? I was just looking at it. What the fuck? Why can't I find it? Oh yeah, on Monday night. Oh man, this is gonna be nerve wracking. Yeah, so I picked the Saints in that, right? But I think the reason, the Colts obviously at plus 300, right? That's a crazy bet. Just up $10 will win me $41. So out of all of the crazy underdogs, this was the craziest, and I thought the most likely. We've seen the Colts play well. They have been not doing too well recently. Putting up stinkers left and right, and they're going into the Saints' house on a Monday night. But what's a more Colts game, right? Like out of nowhere, just coming up, showing up, and putting it to them. And the Saints, out of like the top four teams, you put the Saints there. They're the only one where they would lose the stupid game, right? Where they lost to the Falcons, got demolished by the Falcons. I think they lost another bad game too, where it's like, what the fuck? And it wasn't like a long time ago. It wasn't first 2 weeks. No, it was somewhat recently. So the Saints' resume is this year has a couple games that makes you go, what? And I think the Colts could just come in out of nowhere and just put it to them. I could see it happening. And at plus 310, I felt like it was a worthy enough, thing to put down. Right? I just felt like it was worthy as an underdog. I think there's probably going to be some other underdogs. I chose the Chargers over the Vikings. This is the Chargers' time of the year. And what I mean by that is it's much like a Chargers game. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter is when they do all their damage. They're trash all game until they're down by 28, and it's the fourth quarter with 10 minutes left, and all of a sudden Phillip Rivers starts throwing dimes, throwing deep down the field. The offense is clicking and moving. They're scoring points. They scored 2 touchdowns in a row without the opposing team scoring, and everything's looking great just in time for him to throw a game-sealing interception. Right now, we're before the interception point. Last week, I think there's going to be a 3-game stretch where the Chargers are just killing it because they already have 8 losses. And it may look like, hey, maybe they could get into the playoffs. But at this point, too little, too late. Just like the Chargers do in their games, it's like a circle. It really symbolizes, encompasses their season. Each one of their games encompasses their kind of season. Lose, play terribly, and then, when you're like not quite out, not quite technically out, but I mean, like, come on, you're done. Like, come on, guys, you're done. That's when they decide to, now it's go times. Like, bro, you should have been doing this a couple weeks ago. Why are you going to start kicking ass and taking names now? And the Vikings, they're a juggernaut in the NFC. And then the Chargers are just going to go in there, or I guess the Vikings are going to go in there not expecting the Chargers to put it to them. I could be completely wrong about this. I mean, my theory is literally just it's just some stupid analogy or some kind of connection that doesn't really make much sense. But that's the way I see it. The Chargers would be kicking ass and taking names right now when it's like they're not quite out, but they kind of are. It just makes a bunch of sense to me. Another upset that I didn't pick, I got the Chiefs over the Broncos, but I could totally see the Broncos winning this game. And, we clinch the first overall seed if the Chiefs and the Patriots both lose. But the Pats are playing the Bengals. Man, how awesome would that be if the Bengals just decide to show up and demolish these Pats? That would be fucking awesome, man. I bet on this Ravens game. I bet the over at 44.5. I won that one. Put $20 on that. Going to be coming home with $38 after that bet. But I did put a pretty decent parlay together. It's 4 of my bets, not including that Colts bet. So all of the bets that I made. So the Ravens at the over, the Titans in the spread at -3, the Titans-Texans over at 50, and the Bills at +2. If all of those hit, With a $10 bet, I will be getting $130. So really, if all those hit, then all my other bets would hit. So it's like 40, 40, 40, 40. What is it? 80, 120, 160, 160 plus 130, 290. So $290 if I get all four of those bets right. That's what I'll be dealing with. So that's pretty fucking dope. I'm pretty confident about these bets. A lot of the numbers are getting pretty much like, oh man, I don't know how to pick this one. No one's fooling anybody. Those were just the numbers that I thought were most likely to hit. I think the Bills going to win outright, right? I think the Titans in another huge game, where it's 37 to 27. Thus getting me the over. The Titans winning by over 3. And I think, with the Colts in a crazy, crazy upset. Biggest upset of the week. Yeah, man. So just to go down it again, I will definitely post a tweet with my picks. I've been keeping track of it all season long. I can't wait to see where I stack up against, national media members, my buddy. Basically anybody else who's been keeping track. I'm going to see how I stack up against. I've been having barely playoff weeks, so we'll run down these games again. So I got Ravens, well, that already happened. Eagles, these are the teams that I have winning. Eagles, Titans, Dolphins, Chiefs, Packers, Bucks, Pats, Seahawks, Chargers, Browns, 49ers, Rams, Bills, and Saints. So, this was quite a long one, kind of doing some house cleaning stuff, not talking about just the games. But, that's the way it should be, right? The game should inspire you to ideas about this team. You shouldn't just be, and then they went down the field, it was a third down, and then they got the third down, then it was first down, then Lamar passed it 2 yards down the field. No, that's not what I'm doing here. I'm not doing a play-by-play. I'm just a fan, and I want to talk about this Ravens team. They're doing something special this year, and I can't wait to continue this run with you guys. I can't wait to continue to cover this amazing team. It truly is a year of awesomeness, right? So with that being said, if you could, drop a like, give me a 5-star rating, do all the easy stuff that helps me out, but does nothing for you, besides make me happy, which then in turn may be making you happy. I don't know. So this is a long one. That's what she said. And I will leave you with a go Ravens!